Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of One for the Table. My name is Kimchi.
And I'm John Kung.
So sorry I was late getting to our unplanned time meet for the podcast.
Yeah.
I hopped in the shower, and this hotel, the water pressure is so strong and so good.
Oh, I love that. What hotel are you staying at?
Some Grand Hyatt in DC.
Oh, nice.
But I'm a quick shower person, get in, get the business done and come out.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a warm Niagara Falls, dripping down into my body.
So you just kind of stay there and dissociate for a sec, and you're just yes. Okay. Best shower pressure I've ever witnessed was actually in Los Angeles.
Oh.
It was at the Soho House showers at the gym.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like they're trying to drown you.
Oh, I love that.
It was overwhelmingly strong and overwhelmingly much. The shower head was huge, and it just was what drought? There was never a drought. I think the drought might be because the drought back then might have been because of those showers. It was insane.
I think that's going to be my number one requirement when I do get a home. Check the water pressure, and if the water pressure in, I'm buying this property.
Well, I mean, you can change the water pressure in your home. It's not it's not all that hard to do.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's definitely very nice to have. You've seen my showers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you said, I want the shower to try to drown me.
Yeah.
And then maybe I'll play "Let the Rain Fall Down" and just start.
Yes.
And just start crying for no reason in the shower.
Sometimes I'll play Umbrella.
Oh.
Yeah.
We are very gay.
We are very gay. So you had your first tour thing. I think I saw videos on TikTok about it, of people who were there.
Oh God.
Yeah. How did it go from your end?
Well, first show is always a train wreck for everyone. I don't know how it feels for the audience, but for us, it's first show is always a glorified dress rehearsal.
Yeah.
So, and it just felt really hectic, and a lot of things went wrong technically,
mm-hmm.
and then also a lot of things went wrong on the performer side too. So we had fun and we made it work, but I think by the end everybody was kind of somber mood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it. I mean, and also first day jitters and stuff. I haven't performed in a really long time, but when I did shows and stuff, first day was always high energy, but what are we doing situation.
Yeah.
Lots of nerves. But that's really cool. Who's on that leg of the tour with you? So you're doing DC and then you're going to Tokyo?
So we're going to Asia and Australia after this.
Okay. So you're DC, Asia, Australia.
Mm-hmm. Well, DC was basically so they didn't want the first show to be Tokyo.
Oh,
you know?
Yeah.
So basically work out the kinks in America before we make a fool of ourselves in Asia,
The standards for just everything in Asia are just so much higher. Down to the airport lounges.
Mm-hmm. But also, especially when it comes to performers, I mean, Asian performers are trained, and we've been practicing this one art of twirling the fan with our hand for years in the same direction.
Yes. The level of polish and the expectation. But is it true that the energy from the crowd is not as high? Well, maybe it might be different for a show that features drag queens, but
the drag is different because everybody's screaming like crazy.
Okay. I heard in concerts, the energy, depending on the country, just based off of culture, the energy that you get from the crowd can be very different. But I imagine the gays bring it all the time, no matter where they are, because we're just loud everywhere.
Also, I think it depends on the crowd too, because if you go to an idol concert, everybody's screaming and doing the dances.
Oh, it's true. Well, I did see videos of Beyonce's tour when she was in I think she was either in Germany or somewhere in Europe, and everybody was just seated and watching and not cheering or anything like that.
I think in that case, they're like, we paid a lot of money for these tickets. We're gonna soak up like every moment of this concert, you know.
Right.
While like you know, like in the States, we're like, it's a party for us too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fair. That
But,
whole, like the mute. Did you see on TikTok like every the mute trend that's happening at her concerts now?
No.
It's kind of cool. Like there's a part where she says everybody on mute, in which I think it was an Energy,
Mm-hmm.
and then the entire stadium just goes quiet. Like there's no sound, and like there's just silence throughout the entire stadium until she starts singing again, and it's super, super cool.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I mean, Beyonce has that power, you know?
She's queen. She is, I love her so much.
I mean, also, like, you know, some people just, like, hate Beyonce because she's popular. And I think...
I don't get it.
I think those are, like, my
why.
least favorite type of people.
Right.
Okay.
The contrarians, where they just want to go against things just because they want to go against things.
Yeah. Or, we say in our circle, fucking hipsters.
Hipsters? Okay. Fine. I've just been accused of being a hipster so much that I just like feel defensive automatically.
You are a hipster.
I am not.
You are a hipster.
How am I a hipster?
You hate popular things too. Maybe not Beyonce,
I just
but
said I loved Beyonce.
just because you love Beyonce.
And I know like 3 Taylor Swift songs.
Also, it's kind of like cool to like Beyonce now, especially her like right after her Renaissance album.
I have always loved Beyonce. I have cried in the car more times to Dangerously in Love as a little baby gay, playing it from my MP3 player that goes in through my tape deck in my car.
So you're making it sound like MP3 players like an ancient thing, but
No, girl, this was like the iPod 1. It was almost a Zune.
Yeah. But basically what I was trying to say about Beyonce, don't hate Beyonce.
Yeah. There's nothing to hate, really.
Well, I guess you might not like her because you don't feel like maybe she's sincere because she doesn't do like interviews or whatever. But like if you look at her objectively,
yeah,
her music is good. Objectively.
It is good.
And
it is good.
And you cannot deny like her as a performer, whether like the music is to your taste or not. Objectively,
Amazing.
She's an amazing performer.
She really is insanely good. And like, I don't know. I mean, yes, I feel there. What's the saying? Like there are no ethical billionaires. But like, I feel like she'd be the last one we'd get.
I mean, she already is a billionaire, isn't she?
Her and Jay-Z independently.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got her, Jay-Z, and Rihanna.
Not in my lifetime, but
I would like to be. I don't need to be a billionaire ever, but yeah, I wouldn't hate being billionaire adjacent.
You know, I would like to get to a point where for the rest of my life, I don't have to like worry about bills.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and not that I'm struggling with bills, but like, you know, just when you get to a point where the money just like is automatically deducted from your account and you're not even thinking like, oh, like I need to take more gigs to, you know, like prepare for like the upcoming bills or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Just get to a point where there's enough money in my account where like, oh, I'm not even thinking about bills.
Yeah. I don't know how much money you have to make to be that kind of person. I think there's some, they had said a few years, I mean, this might have been like 10 years ago, so adjusted for inflation might be a lot more, but I read somewhere that like your happiness diminishes or the amount of happiness you get from making money starts to diminish after about 300K. But I guess like for as long ago as this article was, it probably is closer to 400 or 500K now. So you have to be making like $500,000 probably to like not have money be and I'm saying like a year.
Yeah.
To have money be like not something that is ever a concern in your life. And any more that you make after that is just like whatever.
Yeah. It's all petty cash.
It is. And we're just petty.
Well, Well,
Where did
maybe
you?
one day.
Maybe one day. Maybe one day. Like I said, I'm very happy to be billionaire adjacent. So you should probably work a little harder.
Um, I'm happy to be billionaire adjacent. So stop drinking for.
Stop drinking. I barely drink.
I know, but just stop drinking altogether. So when I sell your kidneys,
Nobody's buying my kidneys. Nobody's buying my nearly 40-year-old kidneys for any. You might get like a coupon.
I mean, it's something.
Every little bit helps.
Yeah.
Where did you guys go to eat after the show?
Nowhere. So usually, like after the show, we have to like pack and then clean, and that like process takes a while. And they usually have like a catering dinner for us. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. But like, I just eat whatever is catering because I don't want to eat too late because the show ends late anyway.
Yeah.
And by the time like I pack up everything up and take a shower and all that, it's already 11 p.m.
And all you want to do is pass out in your hotel room.
Yeah. So then, but I need to eat something because I haven't eaten anything all day, you know. And if I like go somewhere else to eat, by the time I get back to the hotel and digest it all that, it's like 2-3 a.m., which is like too late, you know.
Yeah.
The sacrifices we make, and some people can like. Well, actually, a lot of people on this tour, like they like go out to the clubs and get drunk, and then like they'll go to like a diner or like get fast food and eat it and pass out. That is like not the life for me. Like I do not.
Wild. Who does that? Who does that on your tour?
I mean, I'm not going to call them out on my podcast.
Oh, I don't think. Well, that's the thing. I don't think it's really calling out. I just think it's just like what people do. Because like I know a lot of people in shows who tour and stuff. Like they go out afterwards after like every show, and somehow they get it together in time to do a matinee the next morning. I mean, that's just the life. I was just curious that who of your who's on. Well, first of all, who's on the tour with you, and who's fun after the show.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm not one of the fun ones after the show because I clean, because I pack and clean and I go to bed. So I couldn't tell you who's the fun ones, but I could tell you from the ones that sleep in all day. I'm assuming that they had fun all night long.
Could you imagine, like, if we took this podcast on the road and did a tour, like our show times would be like 3 p.m.
So then we can eat dinner by 5 and be in bed by.
It's going to be one for the table. We have reservations at 5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think when you were here, I think it was like a Friday, was it? We had dinner at 5, got back home by like 6:30. Yeah, and then we're like, a wild Friday night for us.
Yeah. Well, you did make a good point where it's like, because our schedules are so different from everyone else's, that, we have the luxury of going out to places like dinner, like on the weekday when not many people go out. So like,
sure,
having to deal with Friday night crowds and also like giving other people a chance to like get that reservation just seems like a little more sensical.
Oh, for sure.
Because I don't want to ever deal with Friday traffic ever.
Oh, same. But also, some people only like going to places that are like packed and busy. I think it makes them feel like they're like part of the scene or something. For me, like, I don't need to do all that. I'm okay like going to a restaurant that's completely empty as long as like the food and the quality is good,
Yeah. I can tell you right now, like, even though on the line we always had our shit together. Well, we most of the time had our shit together. And like, whether it was busy or whether it was dead, it was like, we always put out the best thing that we possibly could. But when we were empty, or like for earlier on in the service, we would always, like, because we had the little bit of extra time, we would always like just put a little bit of extra like love and care into the dishes that we do, just because we were able to. And so like, if a restaurant is like kind of empty and you were blessed with the people on your line who like loved what they do or really cared about their jobs, you might find that like the food is just a little bit better. Not because not because it's like bad when it's busy. No, we're like trained professionals where we handle it, but like it's just the fact that we have a little more time to like spend on your dish coming out.
That extra je ne sais quoi.
That extra, yeah.
Like you might get like a better placed garnish.
Like, yeah. And it normally boils down to something like that where it was like, you know, we had the time to pick the extra pretty flowers or to give a little bit more sauce or to like plate things just a little bit more nicely or more creatively just because we had the time to think about it. Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
I bet it's totally relatable to people who work in the service industry. Like, I still
not
refuse
working
to
regular
work.
hours.
I haven't worked in a restaurant job in ages, and I still refuse to work on Mondays.
I'm sure this is very unrelatable to a lot of
Having
people
Mondays
listening.
off is my favorite. Was like the best thing about working in restaurants. I love not working on Monday.
Yeah, I remember when I was back in college. Anybody that would like sign up for like a Monday morning classes were like, oof. Are you like a sadist? Like, why would you do that to yourself?
Yeah, no. Well, unless maybe they're like they schedule like you always like when you're in college, you try to give yourself like the 3-day weekend. So maybe you either do Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
No, sweetie, 4-day weekend.
4-day weekend. What were you doing?
Or 3.5. But what? Like Monday morning, nothing happens. Nothing can happen between before Monday noon. Because if you party on Sunday, you still need like Monday, like earlier in the day to like recover.
Yeah, I had a double major and a job, so I didn't have that much free time. No. Yeah. Have you ever gone back to your college as a guest? Oh, why not? They totally should ask you. I've been asked back for my school. Yeah.
Well, I went to an art school, so not that like art school was like, you know, like that I didn't have anything to do, but you know how college is, you know,
that
like,
doesn't surprise me at all because that's you now.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, because every time I'm like hanging out with you in any group of friends, you're always like the common denominator that has all those people that all the people in the group or in the party have in common.
Aren't you? I mean, well, it was a little bit different, but back then in the dorms, there were 4 people for the dorm room. But I ended up like deciding to go to college like late. So somehow in my dorm room, it was just me and another roommate in a 4-person like dorm.
Mm-hmm.
And my roommate was like really antisocial and just like was in his like game all the time. So he like would never leave his room. So basically the entire like house was basically mine. And then that somehow became like the party apartment. But then we'd also do like a lot of fun stuff. Like every day we'd gather and play like Mario Kart and Super Smash Brothers. And then we'd all cook dinner.
So not much has changed.
Oh, no. Yeah, listen. But then also we'd all make like dinners or lunch together. Mm-hmm. And, you know, we're like poor college students then. So then like everyone will go to a pantry and like bring a random ingredient. And then like I'll try to figure out like what to make based on like the ingredients that people brought. So like I made like shepherd's pie because one time someone brought like 2-pound bag of like mashed potato flakes. Someone brought like frozen beef. Someone brought like canned veggies and another time we made like sushi with like canned tuna, mayo, and popcorn.
My friend group we were all theater kids, so we were pretty insufferable. But we were also pretty fun. We're like we did have like backyard. We rented a house, 3 roommates, and like we'd have backyard parties and we'd just attract the wildest people. Like there was a fire eater and a fire dancer at one of our backyard parties. There were like a couple bands, I think, that played them before. And we were just like people that just invited folks that we knew. But I cooked back then too, and I was so bad. I was a terrible cook. And I felt so bad for like putting my roommates through that.
So not much has changed. I'm kidding.
Wow.
I'm kidding.
Wow. You think you know a person.
I had to do it for earlier.
Yeah. The thing is, like, I was never afraid of being in the kitchen, and I probably should have been a little bit, but I would just like cook all of these like rice casseroles with bottled sauces and stuff. And I guess to like a college student that they probably tasted good the first time, but then like that's all I ever knew how to make. And so I would just do this and people would be like, oh, this is good. And then it would turn to, oh, this again. So I guess it was good that I was never afraid of being in the kitchen, but like, you know, it wouldn't kill me to have followed like maybe a recipe or something.
That's the problem with people like who aren't good at cooking. They try to make something, they never follow the recipe, and then like complain that it's not good. And it's like, of course it's not good. Like,
oh my God, like New York Times recipe reviews or pretty much any recipe review website. There's always like Gladys from Minnesota who was like, I subbed the lamb for chicken, and instead of soy sauce, I used mayonnaise. And instead of onions, I put in strawberries. And I didn't really care very much for this.
Yup. And it's like, you didn't use any of like the major ingredients or... Yeah. It's like, I was out of like tomato paste, so I used ketchup, and the dish was too sweet. And it's like, well, whose fault is that?
Or some of them get like super just ridiculously wild where it's like, I made this for my husband, though we haven't spoken for like the past 7 years. This seemed okay. 4 stars.
You want to talk? Do you need someone to talk to? Like,
I don't know what inspired that was like, there was this article about this couple in Japan where like this husband just didn't speak to his wife for like 20 years.
Why?
Well, their children actually put them on a TV show to kind of like try to get them to rekindle or like, you know, mend things because they were still married. And it boiled down to like the husband was jealous about how much attention the kids were getting. And he had actually forgiven her a long time ago, but he just like didn't know how to start things over and start talking to her again. So they just were silent for the couple decades.
What the fuck?
I know. I was like, wow, Jesus. But at the same time, it's pretty Asian. I can see.
But also, like, what kind of dad gets jealous over their kids?
I have no idea. Oh
my God. And speaking of which, did you hear the tragic news about the Asian girl who was stabbed over like 79 times?
Wait, what?
I think it just recently happened. So it was like caught on security camera too. This Asian girl, 21-year-old, so basically her stepdad was, I guess, was beating her mom, and then she like tried to like stop and like intervene, and he ended up stabbing her 79 times.
Oh my God, when did this happen?
Like very recently. And even like in the midst of his stabbing, he like stopped to change his like shirt because his shirt got too bloody.
Oh my God.
So they're charging this as like not a crime of passion, but like intent on murder.
Oh my God.
But yeah, so then when the mom called the police and the police like finally came, and arrested the husband, she was like, "Oh, I would have killed her had you like not gotten here in time."
What the hell? What is wrong with people? That is awful.
But I guess the reason why like he tried to kill her was because they've been married 19 years, and he's been overseas and he just came back, and he was afraid that she was gonna divorce him and take all of his money. Which, like, so your solution to that is murder?
That is. This just brings us back to like, why men?
But also, like, when you hear news like that, it kind of makes you like so afraid to like be in a relationship or like even date anyone. Like, how can you be married to someone for 19 years and think about just murdering them for money?
I don't know.
And not to mention, like, the girl, I guess she was like a senior in college, and if you look at photos of her, she's really pretty.
Mm-hmm.
And not that like any like non-pretty people like deserve her more or anything, but like, you know, like she had like a bright future ahead of her, you know?
Yeah. Well, maybe that's why I'm attracted to people who can't fight.
Or people that are smaller than you. So
Smaller than me.
So you can overpower them.
Right.
If anything, you're the one that's going to be wielding the knife.
Yeah, I do love my short kings.
Yeah, but with all your like knowledge and like meat and everything, if you want to like butcher someone up,
oh my god, easy! It's so easy. I mean, it's really creepy, but it's really creepy to even think about. But like the skill transfer from somebody, if you know how to break down a lamb or a pig or a cow, you know how to break down a person.
Yeah, I'm sure you know how to like effective way to like draw out the blood, like drain all the blood, and then like chop all the bones into little pieces.
Yeah, like it's not even a thing. It's not even a thing. Even like breaking down like a chicken, you're just like, oh, okay, I can see where this I can see where this translates. This conversation is getting really weird though.
Why, you never thought about murdering?
No, I can't say that I have.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe like as far as the amount of harm that I've ever wanted to do to someone, maybe I've wanted to like fight in the moment, like physically hurt somebody in the moment, but like that's probably it. Like a passion of the time. I can't even say that like, I wanted to ruin someone's life. I mean, no. I have, but I, you know, can't say that I've ever wanted to.
Like, I never want to harm anyone physically, but I do often fantasize about just like, I know, like the bullies from my past lives.
Yeah,
just like humiliating them publicly.
I can't even remember people who bullied me.
Really?
I used to get bullied a lot as a kid, but I can't really even remember the people who did it.
Oh my god. Yeah, I was bullied a lot too because everybody said I was so gay.
Yep, I got that a lot.
Yeah, but I was like, you know, what kind of small town gay doesn't have like getting bullied story?
Right.
And you know what?
And like not them being right.
And also, you know what? It did make me a stronger person.
I don't wish bad things to happen to people ever, but certainly people who I've met over the course in my life who've had bad things happen to them, they always turn out to be really interesting or well-adjusted or talented or something. Like they definitely turn that trauma into something productive. Especially when you're an artist, unfortunately, a lot of good art does come from pain, but yeah, it's the people who has had like nothing.
Yeah, the kids called me a fag, and in retaliation, I became a drag queen.
You did. I'll show you. I'm gonna put on a dress.
Oh yeah. I have a point to prove.
I'm not a fag. I'm the fag.
The fag. The fag is the fagatron. And that is queen faggot to you.
Best. Oh, that's so good. That is so good. But yeah, it's like the kids that have had like nothing to work for, the ones who've lived like gray lives in the suburbs, like those are the ones that I'm a little bit apprehensive of.
Yeah. If you're a listener and you're having a hard time dealing with bullies and you ever think about self-harming, call Trevor Project.
Mhm.
They offer a 24-hour suicide hotline. And just know that you are not alone in your feelings, and your life is very precious.
It is. And look, and this is what you could be.
And this is not a sponsored post or
No,
post.
no, it's not. Okay.
Sponsored. What's the word?
Unsponsored.
This is unsponsored. Yes.
Wait, are you looking out the window?
Yeah.
Show me your view. I mean, no, what our viewers can't see it, but our listeners can't see it. But it's a parking lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I like being close to the sun.
Mm-hmm. You
So,
are kind of like a cat. You're very cat-like.
Yeah.
Yeah. You even do that, like even when you're not trying to make a point.
My favorite thing to tell people is boo, hiss.
Boo hiss. I like saying boo tomato.
I've never heard you say boo tomato.
Well, I've never had any reason to say boo tomato to you.
I guess you're right. I guess I haven't disappointed you yet.
Oh yeah, I'm still waiting for the day. Don't worry. And on that, we should take a little break.
All right.
Record.
Is it record or record?
Well, those are two different words, but they're spelled the same.
They are spelled the same way, yeah.
Record and record? Because it's record is a verb and record is a noun. But they're just spelled the same way. English is so fucked.
And then I think it's still easier than like Chinese, where like,
I mean, Chinese, it's like a word is a word. I mean, we can say it three different ways, but it's like, or I don't know how many tones Mandarin has. I think Mandarin has like 4 tones. 3 or 4
I just think like tonal languages are much harder to master.
Didn't Korean used to be a tonal language?
Did it?
I think historically it used to be, and then like one day your government just decided, no.
No, we ain't doing this no more.
We're just going to say more things instead of the same thing in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Tonal languages are rough, but there's an interesting fact about tonal languages is that there's a higher rate of people with perfect pitch if they come from a culture that has tonal languages.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting. This sounds like a fact that was unbounded by someone who's from tonal language culture. And it's like, let's boost the morale of our nation up.
I mean, it doesn't matter. I think that the Filipinos beat everybody when it comes to singing anyway.
It's true. I know it's a stereotype, but it's like it's actually a stereotype that I've seen it like true with my own ears.
Yeah. I've gone to karaoke in Manila before. It's a blood sport.
Mm-hmm. And Koreans are like, it's a hit or a miss. It's either like your drunk uncles like singing in the karaoke, or like that one friend who just like belts out like a ballad. Like as if like they're Mariah Carey.
She's throwing down Mariah Carey like it's no problem at all.
Uh-huh.
She's probably like 80 pounds.
And the rest of the friends are just happy to be there.
Yep.
I know. I wish I had like singing talents.
Yeah. See, singing is cool, and it's really fun to watch people who are like super good at singing. I was definitely in a TikTok hole where I was like just listening to different people's version of the same duet of this one song, like while I was cleaning, and I was like, oh my God, I'm listening to pretty much the same song over and over again, just a little bit different, but everybody is just so good. But but at the same time, like people who sing really well and do it all the time, it's a little cringe. It is a little bit.
But like, I feel like it's also like every gay guy's fantasy to like be Jennifer Hudson in Dreamgirls.
Oh,
like singing, and I'm telling you, I'm not going.
Yes.
Or that one chick from like The Greatest Showman, singing like Never Enough.
Yes.
Like, I think all gays fantasize about like having that moment for themselves where the audience is watching and I look so glamorous and I'm just belting all these high notes. Like,
for me, it was just for me, for some reason, my like little gay heart performance thing was always like Whitney Houston's "It's Not Right, But It's Okay."
Mhm.
That was
See,
it.
for me, the little gay boy moment was Little Mermaid, Part of Your World.
Yeah. I think that was my boyfriend's too. That's like Little
Like-
John's favorite movie.
Every time I would take a bath, just like come out of like
Coming out of
the
the
water.
bath, like with the splashing, you'd make a mess everywhere.
Part of your world.
And then you get water all over the bathroom.
Yeah, well, luckily you can do that in Asia because the bathrooms in Asia are
They have
designed for people's use,
Yes.
and they have a drain in the
They have a
middle
drain
of your
in the
bathroom.
floor. They have a drain. Like, I don't understand why most bathrooms, like, I don't understand why there are not drains in the floors in all bathrooms.
Yeah, I don't understand why American bathrooms are like designed the way they are.
Yeah.
So then, like, you have to like completely dry before you step out of the shower.
Yes.
Like, what's the point of a bathroom? And it's even more bizarre when you go to Europe, where, especially like UK,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the hotels, for some reason, the door only covers like half of the showerway.
Yeah. Okay.
And-
I've experienced this too. Like,
And on top of that, the shower's designed to be higher up,
yes.
and there's no drain.
Yeah.
So it's like designed for like your bathroom floor to be watery, but then there's no way to get rid of the water.
Right. Like, everything gets wet, but nothing is supposed to get wet. That is
Yes.
how those bathrooms are designed. And then sometimes there might be like a literal 12-inch piece of glass that like just covers half of your shower thing. It was
Yes.
like, that is not blocking anything. That's protecting you. That's pretty much just making sure that you don't get water on the toilet seat because the toilet is right next to it.
Exactly. And for some reason, the toilets never have enough water in them. You just see like a little like hint of a water down. So then sometimes you're like, oh, I'm definitely not eating enough fiber because I definitely painted these toilets.
Oh no. Oh God, no. Well,
And then you have to like pee on top of your paint, just try to like
well, it's the opposite thing in like American hotels where like the American hotel flush will like, don't accidentally fall down in there because you end up in like Mario World. You're sucked right in.
Yeah, it's just Western bathrooms are very like questionable design for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. Not to sound like I'm like some like Asia like nationalist or whatever, but
Well,
okay, so even the way like the heat and air conditioning is designed in Asia
yeah.
makes so much more sense. Like in Korea, the floor heats up. There's like little pipes like that go through your floor, filled with water, and then that heats up, and then the entire room gets like warm and toasty. While here we turn on like a little dusty heater, and it has to like heat the entire room, and it takes so long and takes so much resource.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
Why?
I don't know.
Like, why hasn't like the Western world like adapted to this?
It's probably just a money thing. Is that
But I
like
feel like-
labor is cheaper in Asia, so they can afford to actually put more thought and like effort into like those things?
And construction, I guess, in general, yeah, because I guess whenever I drive by, I see some like houses being built, and it's just like all wooden panels,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, no wonder all these like American houses get like swept away in the tornado.
Yeah. I know Hong Kong, like all of those, most of theirs are concrete. It's also
Yeah.
like building materials, but it's like they can't build wood buildings in Hong Kong because it's so humid in there.
Mm-hmm.
Humidity also means like you got termites. So I think in Florida a lot of the homes are made of concrete.
Are they?
I think so. Any place that's really, really wet, you can't really do wood homes. And if you do wood homes, then you probably have termites.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm so glad I don't ever have to think about, well, knock on wood that I don't ever have to think about that.
Yeah. Oh, owning a home,
Owning a home.
never easy.
How's your place? Have you had anyone check up on your place since the earthquake?
Earthquake? Yeah. My neighbor is watching for me.
Okay. How's butter?
The butter's doing good. With a sitter. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think we've talked about food once in this episode.
Oh yeah, we are a food podcast after all.
We are.
I mentioned like making all this food for my college friends, but then you change the subject. So
By saying the terrible food that I was making for my college friends.
but you didn't say what you were making.
I said it was like a rice casserole thing.
You did not say that.
It was pretty much like my attempt at making probably like clay pot rice, but using like one of those awful Pyrex dish things and like not using any of the proper ingredients that I needed to use. But what are you looking forward to eating in Tokyo since that is your first stop?
I just feel like Tokyo just has so much like food to eat. However, a lot of like the Japanese food, I can get quality just as great in LA.
Yeah.
So what I'm really looking forward to eating is actually street food. Because street food, unless you go to like a specialty shop, it's like harder to come by in LA.
Yeah, I mean, like there's just certain things where the kind of skill level or the kind of thing like A just doesn't make sense in a different country, or B it's just like people who do that kind of thing have been doing it for so long. It just doesn't make sense to move or to leave the country, and that some of those opportunities and dishes and delicacies just stay there. Like kind of pepper buns. How like it's weird how Taiwan has this like amazing thing, and yet we have not been able to find them anywhere.
Yeah,
New York, Los Angeles, like we have not been able to find an exact same type.
Yeah, like I want like and also you know what I really want to try, because I can't seem to find it anywhere in the States, even though like a lot of people make it at home. Tanghulu.
Tanghulu.
Yeah,
you can get tanghulu.
I can, but I've never seen anyone.
No. Oh, sorry, no tanghulu. I was thinking of the dumpling that's in the soup.
No.
Yeah,
I'm talking about like the fruit and like coated in like candy sugar.
Yeah, I was thinking of tongyun. I think it was called tongyun. But yeah, it's easy to make.
It is, but like I'm not trying to like melt sugar at home and like and all that. I just want to buy like one stick and just eat it and move on.
It's true. It's true. I also think it's like one of those things where it's hard to make enough money to make it worth it.
But I know it's like a popular street food all over Asia. So
we do like our fruit.
It's true, and also fruit tastes better in Asia. This is a fact.
Yes, it does. It has to be like a climate thing.
Yeah, or maybe it's like they actually care about their produce.
Oh, there's that too.
It's like, as an American, how many times have we been subjected to an unforgivable honeydew or cantaloupe?
A bad melon is so disappointing. Well, the good thing is, like most melons in the United States, they're not bad. They're just not ready yet.
Underripe.
Yeah, they're just wild. Like you buy a melon in an American grocery store, and you just pretty much have to know, like, okay, this still needs like 1 to 2 weeks. And people don't get like your house when the melon is ready. Your kitchen should smell like melon. Like you should know it's ready the minute you step into the room. And then when it is ready, if you're like lucky and a little bit brave, you open it and it kind of like bubbles a little bit because it's like slightly fermented. And it's so good. And it just falls apart. Oh my God, it's so good. It's so sweet.
All these like airlines and like hotel like breakfast like buffets or like whatever, they just fill up their like fruit section with unripe melons.
Yeah.
And that is so jarring to me.
Yeah. Which is so weird because it's like nobody's putting sliced green bananas on anything.
Yeah, so why is it
like
okay for you to serve? Or like maybe like Americans have been conditioned to believe that like this is what melons are like.
They're not. Americans been lied to.
I just don't understand why like Americans like won't tolerate like unripe everything else, and yet they tolerate unripe honeydew and cantaloupe.
I think most people just like have never experienced a decent one or one that was actually ready.
One is so good. It's so good.
Yeah.
It is so sugary. It is so soft, almost melty, and so fragrant. And
that was one of the recipes that I put in my book that I was a little bit nervous to. My melon and ham broth.
Yeah.
I made it for you before.
Oh,
And
it's delicious.
but like putting it in and knowing that it was going to be like mostly sold in the States, I was like, there's gonna be a lot of people that make this and like they think the melon is ready, but it's not ready. I tried to like be very, very meticulous in how I explained it. I was like, if it looks like it's about to go bad, then it's probably almost ready. If it's soft, if it's bruisey, if it's a little sweet, it was like stinky sweet, then it's ready. Like,
If you see fruit flies like flying all around it.
yes, I always have to like cover my melons in like mesh baskets before like when they get close to the time. Oh my God, you're going to get so much good fruit in Japan.
Yeah, except his fruit is expensive as hell.
Yeah, you got to like make some TikToks about you eating like $80 grapes.
And also, this is gonna sound really like wild and bizarre. For like from like the foodies that I'm even saying this. Okay, so like how I mentioned before, like sushi and just like whatever, all that. Like I can just find like good quality like in LA. So I'm looking forward to more of the street food.
Yeah.
You know what else I'm like really looking forward to get over everything else?
Is it furikake?
No.
Oh, okay.
I did tweet about that because I want to bring some back. Yeah. But convenience store food in Japan.
7-Elevens in Japan. Yes.
Yes. Not only you can get like oden, but also you can get like different like all these cup noodles, but also like onigiris.
Yeah.
And my favorite part, the fried chicken.
Oh my God.
I don't know what is up with that fried chicken, but it's not like your traditional crispy fried chicken. It's a little soft, but they all have this very distinct taste where it tastes buttery.
Oh.
It's like a fried chicken that tastes buttery and it's good.
Interesting.
I would like objectively would it is the best fried chicken I've ever had?
That.
No. Really?
Yeah. I'd try it. I also like in Hong Kong they'll do like 5-spice chickens or like things that you can microwave really quickly, and it's like a chicken thigh in sweet and savory sauce, tea eggs. I've seen like just roast sweet potatoes before. 7-Elevens in Asia, and I didn't even know that 7-Eleven is a Japanese brand until like, quite recently. Like 7-Eleven everywhere, it's still based in Japan. Like it's a Japanese company.
Ta-da!
Yeah.
7-Eleven really did that.
Yeah. 7-Elevens used to be where I went in Hong Kong just to like get a hit of really good air conditioning if I was like walking outside.
7-Eleven is kind of like a comfort place. You walk in there with $5 and there's so many things you can buy with just $5.
Mm-hmm.
Like going to convenience store like as a kid was like my favorite thing. Like where I grew up, in the middle of nowhere, Michigan, there was like one convenience store across like the railroad train track. That was like,
bless you.
That was like a 15-minute like walk from my place. And then I'd always go there, and like the Arizona iced tea.
I loved those things.
So they were 99 cents, but you get so much for your like money for some reason.
Back when they were 99 cents. I think, aren't they still 99 cents or like they're $1.29 or something now?
Something, yeah. And also like the label is really pretty.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, I have seen like products that are throwbacks to the Arizona green tea with ginseng and honey. Like I used to drink those all the time. Sometimes I would heat them up in the microwave and drink them hot.
You would.
Yeah.
would.
I have always been this old.
And then sometimes I get like the pork rinds. Have you ever had like spicy pork rinds?
Yes.
Yeah. Or spicy Cheetos.
One thing that I miss for that used to be 99 cents was, and this was before we canceled them, or like we didn't cancel. Nobody cancels anyone really, but like Goya used to sell canned coconut water in the same size as those Arizona iced teas with chunks of coconut in there, and they used to be 99 cents. And actually, it wasn't inflation that made them more expensive. It was Rihanna
What?
Yes. So she had like said Rihanna is the reason why everyone drinks coconut water now, because she had said like she had attributed her amazing skin to it, and then literally like the next week those 99-cent cans of coconut water were immediately like $2.
Crazy.
Her impact. And
Damn.
then you had like the Harmless Harvest, like the fancy coconut water bottle companies were started to come out. Thank God we've come back, and now like Costco sells really good coconut water for a decent price.
Mm-hmm. I remember when I used to do hot yoga, I would drink a lot of coconut water because you lose so much, like,
Sweat. Yes.
yeah.
I could never
Oh my
do
God.
hot yoga.
It wasn't even just like hot yoga, but it was like Bikram yoga.
Yeah, I could never. I sweat enough as it is.
Have you ever done it before?
No, I would die. I would literally come out of there like beef jerky. I sweat so much automatically. I could never do Bikram.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking, but I did it like consistently for like 4 months. And you do the same poses every day. So, the whole point is like, you can see like how much further and further you can like push yourself every day. And like your progress is like easy to like track. And like the first half is like all standing poses, and the second half is all like laying down poses.
Oh.
So then when it gets the second half, you're like, oh, finally, like this is so much better. But while you're doing the standing poses, you can literally see sweat come out of places that you never thought were possible. Like, I didn't know you could sweat from your knees.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like, I didn't know I could like sweat from like my nipples. Like,
yeah. Oh, I used to. There was one point in time where I was really into like moisturizing with coconut oil, and when I went to do, I would get just as sweaty as a Bikram as you at Bikram, probably at just doing like a regular vinyasa class. And I learned that like if I had on coconut oil and I got really really sweaty, I just smelled like movie popcorn.
Did you get hungry?
Always movie popcorn is the best because it's just coconut oil and salt, and so like I would just smell like that. But there's actually a Detroit style yoga. It's like a vinyasa class, so it's a little more fast paced, and the flows are like different depending on the teacher. But what we tend to do here, and I didn't know that they don't do it at anywhere else, is they would give you like a mini flow in a vinyasa style, and then you would pretty much just do that flow a couple of times on your own, like unguided, which because it's the style that I learned, I really like it. I liked it because it let me focus on the things that I wanted to focus on. It let me be a little bit more creative about it. But as it turns out, a lot of people really don't like this style of yoga.
They like the guided, like
like the guided, the slow pace. But like mine's like it's a dance. I'm expressing myself.
Oh my God, I haven't taken a yoga class in so long. I miss it.
We should do one. I'll do one with you. It can't be Bikram.
No, I mean I don't think I'll jump back into it with Bikram.
Yeah, I would come out of that thing like a chicharron. I would not survive Bikram.
Yeah. Well, who knows? I feel like after a while, when yoga can be like an addiction, Oh, totally. After a while.
Yeah.
And when you get addicted enough, you might want to try Bikram.
I don't know. I couldn't sit in a room. Like I would pretty much just sit in a room in a Bikram studio, and that would be all. I don't think I could move.
Also, Bikram, I guess that's like a practice, and like the person is like very controversial anyway. So
yeah, I heard it was a little culty, and also like lots of like sexual assault. Yeah. So
why can't these people just like they're like sticking their pants?
Like, why can't you just be good? Like as good as you say you like? Is it that hard to just not be awful?
Especially if you're like a rich public figure,
I know. Like how is it that like the money gets to you and then you become rotted, or do you think just rotted people tend to be more successful because they just don't give a crap of who they step over to get to where they are.
Or maybe they just feel like they're like invincible somehow.
Maybe. It's just like every time you like read something about some rich person and they're always just like it's not even disappointing anymore. It's just like, oh, what did this person do?
Yeah. Well, changing the subject,
Mm-hmm.
we have a listener question.
Oh, we do?
Mm-hmm.
What's the question?
Hey, John and Kim. I'd like to ask you both the same question Padma Lakshmi asked on her Instagram a while ago. If you were given a bowl of rice and you could only add 2 ingredients on top of the bowl of rice to flavor it, what would it be?
2 ingredients on a bowl of rice.
Mm-hmm.
My automatic reaction is ikura and an egg yolk.
Very like rich, decadent.
Yeah, because the ikura is already salty, and so I wouldn't need to add any more salt. But I wouldn't mind like a fudgy yellow rice, just egg on egg on egg.
Yum.
What's yours?
The 2 topping makes it very hard because
Yeah,
you have to be very careful about your like picking.
yeah. For me, one has to be about the flavor, and then one has to do something with the texture.
Mm-hmm.
Yogurt would be a good answer.
Oh yeah, it was like a basmati rice with yogurt and cucumber,
Hell yeah.
or basmati rice with yogurt and like pickled lime.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah, that would be very good. But if I was just like in a home, my answer would be, I would say a really, really buttery scrambled egg and soy sauce.
Ooh, nice. Nice.
And just like mix it all up together.
Mhm. Then you get your like fluffiness, and then you get your salt. That's really, really good.
And then you get like the buttery flavor, the salt, you know?
Yeah. I like that.
Oh, I haven't eaten like breakfast or lunch yet, so I'm like starving now.
What time is it? Oh, wait, no. We're on the same time zone again.
Yeah, it's almost 2 p.m. here.
Oh, I like that.
You like that? You like that?
Yeah,
you like
I
that?
like that.
You're into that?
When do you leave?
Tomorrow.
Oh, so you just have a free day in DC?
Yeah,
You should go to Tiger Fork.
Tiger Fork. Okay.
Remember, you went there and you said you really liked it.
Oh, that's the one with like all the red restaurant was kind of like hidden in the alley.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, the next episode, we should do an overrated, underrated, but like our own cuisine, like Chinese food and Korean food.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
You heard it here, folks. Next episode will be overrated, underrated Chinese and Korean cuisine.
Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful week, everybody.
Yes, and if you like what you heard, like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions for us, message it to us on our Instagram, One for the Table. That is number 1, and then for the table. And don't be a hater, and don't kill anyone.
Okay. All right, I'm going to end it here. Bye.